Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the first edition of the baseball edition of the W.B. Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Mark Weiner, joined by the head baseball coach, John Russo. Coach, how are you? How was your offseason?
It was great, Mark. Thanks for having me today.
Coach, I don't want to harp on last season too much, but just to quickly go over it, 7-11 in CAA play. You missed the tournament for the second straight year. What did you take out of that season as a whole, especially for the younger players?
For the second year in a row, we missed it by almost 90 feet. We were within one base of getting to the tournament 3 years in a row, I think. And the thing I took away from it is we were able to win a game, every conference weekend. We weren't able to win a series. And, to try to learn to win series, be better on Sunday. My first year here, we were 10-0 on Sunday, and we just haven't been the same Sunday team as what we've been. So, I've been working on playing harder, longer stretches, being able to play our pace for the weekend, and figuring out during the year.
Graduate a bunch of seniors, but you bring in a lot of new talent. Can you tell us some players to watch that you really expect to make an impact in their first season as a member of the Pride?
I think young pitchers, that are going to be new that people are going to see is like Adam Heidenfelder from MacArthur High School, and we got Bowie Matheson, who redshirted for us last year. That'll pitch a lot this year. Patrick Seibert from Pennsylvania will pitch some. On the position players side, we'll have Matt Annunziata. We'll get a lot of time in the outfield. Stephen Foster, a lot of time in the outfield, and Chris Weiss, Nico Haggerty behind the plate, and they should get a lot of playing time as a freshman. Oh, and another new guy would be Brett Johnson from transfer from TCU.
Your offense, you lose 4 of your 6 top hitters from last season, but you bring back Brian McDonald and then Brad Witkowski, a couple of good players there. But where do you expect to pick up that offense left from Kenny Jackson and Matt Ford?
I think a guy that went unnoticed that had a pretty decent year, faded off the last 2 weeks was like David Lederman. I feel like he's gotten bigger, he's grown a lot. He was our MVP of the fall. Really swung the bat really well, played a lot as a freshman, got to go out to Alaska in the summer league, and I feel like just how much he's matured and being a redshirt sophomore. He's been here 3 years, and we forget a lot. It's only his second year of play, and thought he's been super improved. Hope some of the freshmen will be able to knock some, Nunziata and Foster and them guys get some hits. And, just expect, Ferguson to maybe have a better year than what he had last year. He'll get a lot of playing time. I think Eric's there. And then you return Dalton Rouleau, who we missed from injury 2 seasons in a row. And Dalton was a first-team All-CAA player 3 years ago now. So hopefully he comes back healthy.
You mentioned the addition of Dalton Rouleau coming back for his 6th season, technically as a member of the Pride. Now, his defense, we know what he can do, but how much does it help in terms of leadership and, of course, at the plate?
I thought the 34-win club, he was the hidden guy that, Danny had such a good year and was an All-American and Conference Player of the Year, but, I felt like Dalton really made us go, and he brought a different confidence to us, and we played a different style with him out there, and, to lose him 2 years in a row to injuries, it was, as much as it hurt us on the field, it hurt us off the field. He's such a good leader, such a good teammate. He knows what to do. He knows how to act. He knows, just his presence overall of everything is incredible. And, very, very lucky to have him back for his 6th year. He just made it, but, he had a freak injury with breaking his hamate bone, and can't be happier to have him back.
In terms of on the hill, you bring back Nick Kozlowski. He's your ace from last season, but there's also a couple of question marks in that rotation and at the closure spot as Brett Schreiber leaves the program. So what can we expect from the rotation once conference season comes around, which is only really a month away if you look at it, and then the closure spot?
I think we have a transfer from Garden City, Chris Bonk, who will, get a chance to pitch on the weekend. The freshman Adam Heidenfelder, and then you've got Nick. They should be able to hold out the rotation early, and the big question mark for this team for sure will be the bullpen. I don't have a guess as of today who will be replacing Brett Schreiber. I don't think you necessarily replace him. I mean, you're talking about a kid that, had a win or save every conference weekend last year, and I thought arguably the best pitcher in the league. I don't know another pitcher that did as much for his team as what Brett Schreiber did for us last year. And it's going to be really tough to replace him. And, early on I'm just going to pitch a bunch of guys, and I love that we have the 8 games in the first 10 days or 11 days, and that'll give me a chance to throw a lot of guys and see different guys on the mound and see how they react.
In terms of your schedule, you start this week against UCLA out in Los Angeles, and then you take on the University of Hawaii. Remember last year you got so many games snowed out and you couldn't really play much in the non-conference. Did you try to get as far away from Hempstead as possible to make sure you played the games?
I'm trying my best, and it's looking like snow Thursday to get out some, but that was a little bit of the detriment last year. You're right. We only played 44 games. We had like 10 games canceled and could never really find our rhythm. And really excited to go to UCLA. It's one of the top college spots in the country. I think if you guys think about where players want to play and coaches want to coach, what a historical place, and can't be more excited to go there. And then it just really worked out really well to go to Hawaii the following weekend with Coach Trempizo. Having an open weekend, us being already over there and being able to go over and play the games. And I know the guys are super excited and super happy to be going out there.
In terms of your conference slate, the CAA obviously is very tough. You have College of Charleston, they're the reigning champs. They have a lot of pitching coming back, and then you bring in Elon, who's a very good team transferring from the SoCon. So what are you going to expect out of your CAA slate this year?
Like we needed Elon to join the conference for baseball. They're super tough, and Coach Kennedy has a great program down there. And you're right. Charleston went down to the Gainesville Regional and basically won it with pitching, and then gets to the Super Regional and loses, 2-1-0 games in return. Both pitchers that threw in those games, and matter of fact, return them for 2 more years after this year. So they'll be super tough. Wilmington will be tough again. They got a break returning their best pitcher, Ramsey, who got drafted but went back to school, and then their best hitter, Corey Dick, came back after in late injury, so he didn't get drafted. So just makes the conference tough. William Mary will be really good. Delaware has a really nice club. Northeastern with new coach Mike Lavin's really good. Our conference is what it is. We know what it is and what we've signed up for. And I think that's half of the battle with getting the new recruits and the good players that we've gotten is the big sell of our conference, and that competition and being able to go south and match up a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night is as exciting of a weekend as we can have.
Finally, Coach, last question. What does Hofstra have to do to get back to the tournament and even potentially compete for a CAA title?
That's a great question. I think we're due a guy, I think preferably on the mound that has a big year, that was a little unexpected. I think we need a guy to step up and get us like 7-8 wins on the mound, and and then figure out a bullpen that can shut it down like Schreiber did last year and Verbitsky the year before. And I think that was one of our strengths, was having guys like them to go on the backside. You had Barbarino back in the 34-win club and Cody Normans of the world, and those were guys we were counting on. And it's just time to replace those guys. And between now and the start of conference, we got to figure out who our go-to guys are. And we got to have a couple guys. I like our lineup. I like the way that I think we'll be able to run some and do different things. But we just need a couple guys to step up and have big years. And I think if we do that, we'll get back in the CAA tournament. And once you're in the tournament, anything can happen.
The head coach of the Hofstra Pride baseball program, John Russo, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, good luck this season. This is the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com.